a time for frightened beasts to bend. Then let me hear of you, my gentle cousin Westmoreland.
My liege, a host from whence the noble Mortimer was by the rude hand of the wild Glendower taken, and 1,000 of his people butchered. Far more uneven and unwelcome news came from the north, and thus it did report. On Holyrood Day, the gallant Hotspur there, young Harry Percy, and the Earl of Douglas, that ever valiant and prudent Scot, at home did fought where they did spend a sad and bloody hour. And he that brought this news in the very pride and heat of their contention did take course, uncertain of the issue anyway.
Ah, he's a dear and true industrious friend, Sir Walter Blunt. New lighted from his horse betwixt that Holden and this sea of ours.
The Earl of Douglas is discomfited!
Yeah!
10,000 bold Scots, 22 knights balked in their own blood did I myself see on Holden's flames. And prisoners, Hotspur took Morday, Earl of Fife, and eldest son to Beaton Douglas, and the Earls of Athels, Murray, Angus, and Menteith.
This is not an honorable spoil, a gallant prize. That cousin is it not? In faith it is.
A conquest for a prince to boast of.
That makes me sad and makes me sin and envy that my lord Northumberland should be the father of so blessed a son, whilst I, by looking on the praise of him, see riot and dishonor stain the brow of my young Harry. Oh, that it could be proved that some night-tripping fairy had exchanged in cradle clothes our children where they lay, and called mine Percy and his Plantagenet, and I would have this Harry to be mine. Let him from my thoughts, huh? What think you, cuz, of this young Percy's pride? The prisoners which he in this adventure hath surprised, to his own use he keeps, and sends me word I shall have none but Mordick, Earl of Fife.
This is his uncle's teaching. This is Worcester, malevolent to you in all aspects.
I will send for both to answer this.
Benches in the afternoon, thou hast forgotten to demand that truth, which thou wouldst truly know. What a devil hast thou to do with the time of day, unless hours were cups of sack, minutes capons, and the blessed sun himself, a fair hot wench in flame-colored taffeta. I see no reason why thou shouldst be so superfluous to demand the time of day.
Indeed, you come near me now, Hal. Therefore, we that take purses go by the moon and 7 stars, oh, and not by Phoebus, he that wandering night so fair. Oh, and I prithee, sweet wag, when thou art king, as God save thy grace, majesty, I should call thee for grace, thou wilt have none.
What? None?
Oh, no, none. Not so much as will serve to be a prologue to an egg and butter.
Well, how then? Come, round you.
Marry then, sweet wag, oh, when thou art king, let not us that are squires of the night's body be called thieves of the day's beauty. Let us be, oh, Diana's foresters, the gentlemen of the shade, minions of the moon. And let men say that we be men of good government, being governed as the sea, oh, by our noble and chaste mistress, the moon, under whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well, and it holds well too, for the fortune we, that are the moon's men, doth ebb and flow as the sea, being governed as the sea is by the moon. Now it is low and ebb as the foot of the ladder, and by as high a flood as the ridge of the gallery.
Ooh, thou say'st true, lad. Ooh. And is not my hostess of the tavern a most sweet wench?
Why? What a pox have I to do with the hostess
here apparent that thou art heir apparent. But, I prithee, sweet wag, shall there be gallows standing in England when thou art king? Oh, do not thou, when thou art king, hang a thief?
No, thou shalt.
Oh, shall I? Oh, rare. I'll be a brave judge.
Thou judgest false already. I mean, thou shalt have the hanging of the thieves, and therefore be a rare hanging.
Well, how? Well, and if some sort of jumps in my humor as well as waiting in the court, I can tell you, I am as melancholy as a lug to bear.
Oh, or an old lion, or a lover's lute.
Yea, or the drone of a Lincolnshire bagpipe.
Oh, or the melancholy of Mortgage.
Oh, thou hast the most unsavory similes, and art indeed the most comparative, rascaliest. Oh, so weak a young prince! But now, I prithee trouble me no more with vanity. I would to God thou and I knew where a commodity of good names could be bought. An old lord of the council rated me the other day in the street about you, sir. But I marked him not. And yet he talked very wisely, but I regarded him not. And yet he talked wisely. And in the streets too.
Thou didst well, for wisdom cries out in the streets, and no man regards it.
Thou hast damnable iteration, and art indeed able to corrupt a saint. Thou hast done much harm unto me, Hal. God forgive thee for it. But before I knew thee, Hal, I knew nothing. And now am I, if man should speak truly, little better than one of the wicked. Oh, I must give over this life, and I will give it over, and I do not. I am a villain. Oh, I'll be damned for never a king's son in Christendom.
Where shall we take purse tomorrow, Jack?
No, that will add, oh, I'll make one, and I do not call me villain and baffle me.
Oh, I see a good amendment of life in thee. From praying to purse taking.
Why, Al, 'tis my vocation. 'Tis no sin for a man to labor in his vocation. Ah, good morrow, men.
Good morrow, sweet Hal. What says Monsieur Remorse? What says Sir John Second Sugar, Jack? How grieves the devil in thee about thy soul, which thou soldest him on Good Friday last for the cup of Madeira and a cold capon's leg?
Sir John stands to his word. The devil shall have his bargain.
Then art thou damned for keeping thy word, O devil?
Else you were damned cozening the devil.
But my lads, tomorrow morning by 4 o'clock early at Gad's Hill, there are pilgrims going to Canterbury with rich offerings, and traders riding to London with fat purses. If you will go, I will stuff your purses full of crowns. If you will not, tarry at home and be hanged.
Al, wilt thou make one?
Who? I, Rob? I, a thief, not I.
There's neither manhood, honesty, nor good fellowship in thee, nor camest thou not from the blood royal, if thou darest not stand for 10 shillings.
Well, once in my life I'll be a mad jack. Well, come what will, I'll tarry at home.
I'll be a traitor then when thou art king.
I care not.
Sir John, I prithee leave the prince and me alone. I will lay him down such reasons for this adventure that he shall go.
Well, mayst thou have the spirit of persuasion, and he the ears of profiting, and what thou speakest may move. Farewell!
Now thy good, sweet, honey lord ride with us tomorrow. I have a just to execute that I cannot manage alone. Falstaff, Bardolph, Peto, and Gadshill shall rob those men. Yourself and I will not be there. And when they have the booty, if you and I do not rob them, then cut this head from my shoulder.
humor of your idleness, yet herein I will imitate the sun, who doth permit the base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world, that when he please again to be himself, being wanted, he may be more wondered at by breaking through the foul and ugly mists of vapors that did seem to strangle him. If all the year were playing holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work. But when they seldom come, they wish for come, and nothing pleaseth but rare accidents. So in this loose behavior, I throw off my reformation, glittering o'er my faults, shall show more goodly and attract more eyes than that which hath no foil to set it off. I'll so offend to make offense a skill, redeeming time when men think least I will.
My blood hath been too cold and temperate, inapt to stir at these indignities, and you have found me, for accordingly you tread upon my patience. But be sure, I will from henceforth rather be myself, mighty and to be feared, than my condition, which hath been smooth as oil, soft as young down, and therefore lost the title of respect, which the proud soul ne'er pays, but to the proud.
Ah, house, my sovereign liege, little deserves the scourge of greatness to be used on it, and that same greatness too, which our own hands have helped to make so poor.
My lord,
Listen, get thee gone! When I do see danger and disobedience in thine eye, you have good leave to leave us. When we need your use and counsel, we shall send for you. You are about to speak.
Yea, my good lord, those prisoners in your highness's name demanded, which Harry Percy here at Holmton took, were, as he says, not with such strength denied as was delivered to your majesty. Either envy, therefore, or misprision was guilty of this fault, and not my son.
My liege, I did deny no prisoners, but I remember when the fight was done, when I was dry with rage and extreme toil, breathless and faint, leaning upon my sword, came there a certain lord, neat and trimly dressed, fresh as a bridegroom, and his chin new reaped, showed like a stubble land at harvest home. He was perfumed like a milliner, and twixt his finger and his thumb, he held a pouncet box, which ever and anon he gave his nose and took it away again, who therewith angry when it next came there, took it and snuffed, and still he smiled and talked, and as the soldiers bore dead bodies by, he called them untaught knaves, unmannerly, to bring a slovenly unhandsome corpse betwixt the wind and his nobility. With many holiday and lady terms, he questioned me, among the rest, demanded my prisoners in your majesty's behalf. I then all smarting with my wounds being cold to be so pestered with a popinjay. Out of my grief and my impatience, answered neglectingly, I know not what he should or should not, for he made me mad to see him shine so brisk and smell so sweet and talk so like a waiting gentlewoman of guns and drums and wounds. God save the mark! So, and telling me that but for these vile guns, he would himself have been a soldier. This bald, unjointed chat of his, my lord, made me to answer indirectly, as I said, and I beseech you, let not this report come current for an accusation betwixt my love and your high majesty.
The circumstance considered, good my lord, whatever Harry Percy then had said to such a person and in such a place, at such a time with all the rest retold, may reasonably die, and never rise to do him wrong, or any way impeach. What then he said, so he unsay it now.
Why, yet he doth deny his prisoners, but with proviso and exception, that we, at our own charge, shall ransom straight his brother-in-law, the foolish Mortimer, who in my soul hath willfully betrayed the lives of those that he did lead to fight against the great magician, damned Glendower, whose daughter, as we hear, the Earl of March, hath lately married. Shall our coffers, then, be emptied to redeem a traitor home? No, on the barren mountain let him starve. I shall never hold that man my friend, whose tongue shall ask me for one penny cost, to ransom home revolted the Mortimer.
Revolted, Mortimer! He never did fall off, my sovereign liege, but by the chance of war, they let him not be slandered with revolt.
Let me speak of Mortimer. Send me your prisoners with the speediest means, or you will hear in such a kind from me as will displease you. My lord Northumberland, we license your departure with your son. Send us your prisoners, or you'll hear it.
And if the devil come and roar for them, I will not send them! I will have to straight and tell him so, for I will ease my heart, although it be with hazard of my head.
What? Drunk? With collar? Stay and pause a while. Here comes your uncle.
Speak of Mortimer? Yes, I will speak of him, and let my soul want mercy if I do not join with him. In his behalf, I'll empty all these veins and shed my dear blood drop by drop in the dust. But I will raise the downtrodden Mortimer as high in the air as this unthankful king, as this ingrate and cankered Bolingbroke.
Brother, the king hath made your nephew mad.
Who struck up this heap after I was gone?
He will, forsooth, have all my prisoners. But when I urged the ransom once again of my wife's brother, then his cheek looked pale, and on my face he turned an eye of death, trembling even at the name of Mortimer.
I cannot blame him, Mr. Richard. Was Mortimer not proclaimed by Richard that day? Yes. The next of blood.
He was. I heard the proclamation. And then it was when the unhappy king, whose wrongs in us God pardon, did return to be deposed and shortly murdered.
And for whose death we in the world's wide mouth live scandalized and foully spoken of.
But soft, I pray you, did King Richard then proclaim my wife's brother Mortimer heir to the crown?
He did. I myself did hear it.
Nay, then I cannot blame his cousin king that wished him on the barren mountain starved. But shall it for shame be spoken in these days, or fill up chronicles in time to come, that men of your nobility and power did gauge them both in an unjust behalf, to put down Richard, that sweet, lovely rose, and plant this thorn, this cankered Bolingbroke? And shall it in more shame be further spoken that you are fooled, discarded, and shook off by him, for whom these shames ye underwent? No! Yet time serves, wherein you may restore yourselves into the good thoughts of the world again. Revenge the jeering and disdain and contempt of this proud king. Therefore I say,
Cousin, say no more. And do you quit conceiving discontents, I'll lead you matter deep and dangerous.
send danger from the east unto the west, and an honor across it from the north to the south, and let him grapple. The blood will stirs to rouse the lion to start a hare.
Imagination of some great exploit drives him beyond the bounds of patience.
Good cousin, give me audience for a while and list to me.
I cry you mercy.
Those same noble Scots that are your prisoners.
I'll keep them all. By heaven, he shall not have a Scot of them. Nay, if a Scot would save his soul, he shall not.
You start away and lend no ear unto my purposes. Those same prisoners you shall keep.
Nay, I will. That's flat. He said he would not ransom Mortimer, forbid my tongue to speak of Mortimer. But I will find him when he lies asleep, and in his ear, I'll Mortimer! Nay, I'll have a starling till be taught to speak. Not even Mortimer, and give it him.
Hear you a word.
All studies here I solemnly defy, save about the gall and pinch this Bolingbroke, and that same sword and buckler, Prince of Wales. But that I think his father loves him not, and would be glad he met with some mischance. I would have him poisoned with a pot of ale.
Kinsman, farewell. I'll talk to you when you're better tempered to attend.
What a wasp-tongued, impatient fool art thou! Find thine ears no tongue but thine own.
Why, look you, I am whipped and scourged with rods, nettled and stung with pismires when I hear this vile politician Bolingbroke. In Richard's time, as, what do you call the place? A plague upon it. It was in Gloucestershire.
At Berkeley Castle?
You say true. 'Twas where I first bowed my knee unto this king of smiles, this Bolingbroke. Why, what a candy deal of courtesy this fawning greyhound that did proffer me. Ugh, the devil take such cozeners! Good uncle, forgive me, tell your tale, for I have done.
Nay, if you have not, do it again. We'll stay your leisure.
I have done this.
Then once more to your Scottish prisoners. Deliver them up without their ransom strait, and make the Douglas son your only mean for ours in Scotland. You then, my brother, your son in Scotland, being thus implored, shall secretly into the bosom of the Archbishop of York, who bears hard his brother's death by order of the king.
I smell it. Upon my life, it will do wondrous well.
It is a little reason bids us speak. For bear ourselves even as we can the king, will always think him in our debt. and we think ourselves unsatisfied, till he hath found a time to pay us home. And see already how he doth begin to make us strangers to his looks of love.
He does. He does. We'll be revenged on him.
Cousin, farewell, and no further go in this than I by letters shall direct your course.
Farewell, good brother. We shall thrive. I trust. Uncle, adieu. Oh, let the hours be short, till fields and blows and groans applaud our sport.
Come, shelter, shelter! I have removed Falstaff's horse and he frets like a dog to velvet!
Stay closer! Points! And behave, boys!
Peace! Cheeky rascal! What a brawl dost thou keep?
What points? Oh, how?
He walks on top of the hill. I'll go seek him.
I am accursed to Robin that keeps company. That rascal hath removed my horse and tied him, I know not where. If I travel but 4 foot by the square, further a foot, I shall break my wind. Oh. Oh, God. Oh. Well, I doubt not but to die a fair death for all this, if I escape hanging for killing that rogue. I have forsworn his company, and yet I am bewitched with the rogue's company. Poise. Help. I'm playing upon you both! Bardolph. Pito. Oh, I'll starve ere I'll rob a foot further. And 'twere not as good a deed as to drink, to turn true man, and to leave these rogues. I am the veriest varlet that ever chewed with a tooth. 8 yards of uneven ground is 70 miles afoot with me. And the stony-hearted villains know it well enough. A plague upon when thieves cannot be true unto another. Oh. A plague upon you all. Give me my horse, you rogues! Give me my horse and be hanged!
Peace, you fat guts! Lie down and list if thou can hear the tread of travelers.
Have you any letters to lift me up again, being down? I'll not bear mine own flesh so far afoot again for all the coin in my father's exchequer. What unmean ye to colt me thus?
Thou liest. Thou art not colted. Thou art uncolted.
Oh, I prithee, good Prince Hal, help me to my horse, good king's son.
Out, you rogue. Shall I be your hostler?
Go hang thyself in thine own heir apparent garters. If I be tame, I'll peach for this. Oh, yeah. And I have not ballads made on ye all, and sung to filthy tunes. Let a cup of sack be my poison. Stabbed! So I do, against my will.
Bardolph, what news?
Casey, I'm with your visitors. There's money at the king's coming down the hill. It's going to the king's exchequer.
You lie, you rogue. 'Tis going to the king's tavern.
There's enough to make us all.
To be hanged.
You four shall front them off in the narrow lane. Ned and I will walk alone. If they escape from your encounter, then they light on us.
But how many be of them?
Some 8 or 10.
Will they not rob us?
What? A coward? Sir John Punch.
Indeed, I am not John of Gaunt, your grandfather, but yet no coward, Hal.
We'll leave that to the proof.
Now, my masters, happy and easel, say I, every man to his business.
I'm happy this evening. I can say trees and woods will bustling. Come later. The boys shall lead our horse down the hill and let us walk for a while and ease our legs.
respect to the love he bears our house. He shows it as he loves his own barn better than he loves our house. Let me see some more. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. Why, that's certain. It is dangerous to take a cold, to sleep, to drink. But I tell you, my lord, fool, out of this nettle, danger. We pluck this flower, safety. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. The friends you have named uncertain, the time itself unsorted, and your whole plot too light for the counterpoise of so great an opposition. Say you so, say you so. I say to you again, you are a shallow, cowardly hind, and you lie! What a lack brain is this? I protest, our plot is as good a plot as ever was laid. Our friends true and constant. A good plot! Good friends and full of expectation. An excellent plot! Very good friends! Have I not all their letters to meet me in arms by the 9th of the next month? What a frosty-spirited rogue is this? By this hand, if I were now by this rascal, I could brain him with his lady's fan! Is there not my father, my uncle, and myself, Lord Edmund Mortimer, my Lord of York, and Owen Glendower? Oh, is there not besides the Douglas? And are not some of them set forward already? What a coward rascal is this? You shall now see in very sincerity of fear and cold heart with heat to the king, and lay open all our proceedings. I can divide myself with good puppets, removing such a dish of skimmed milk with so honorable an action. Hang me. Let them tell the king we are prepared. I will set forward tonight. Yes. How now, Kate? I must leave you within these 2 hours.
Oh, my good lord, why are you thus alone? For what offense have I, this fortnight, been a banished woman from my Harrow's bed? Tell me, sweet lord, what is that takes from thee thy stomach, pleasure, and thy golden sleep? Why dost thou bend thine eyes upon the earth, and start so often when thou sitst alone? In my fixed slumbers I by thee have watched, and heard thee murmur tales of iron wars, speak terms of manage to thy bounding steed, cry courage to the field, and thou hast talked of prisoners' ransom and of soldiers slain, and all the current of a heady fight. Thy spirit within thee hath been so at war, and thus hath so bestirred thee in thy sleep, that beads of sweat hath stood upon thy brow, like bubbles in a late disturbed stream. And in thy face strange motions have appeared, such as we see when men restrain their breath on some great sudden haste. Oh, what portents are these? Some heavy business hath my lord in hand, and I must know it, else he loves me not.
What ho? Have Butler brought those horses from the sheriff?
One horse, it is even now.
What horse? A roan, a crop ear, is it not?
It is, me lord.
That roan shall be my throne. Esperance, bid Butler lead them forth into the park.
But hear you, my lord.
What sayest thou, my lady?
What is it carries you away?
Why, my horse, my love, my horse.
Oh, out you mad and a widow have not such a good spleen as you are tossed with. It soon found no your business, Harry, that I will. I fear my brother Mortimer doth stir about his title, and hath sent for you to line his enterprise. But if you go...
So far afoot, I shall be weary, love.
Oh, come, you cowardly go. Answer me directly unto this question that I shall ask. Indeed, I'll break thy little finger, Harry, if thou wilt not tell me true.
Oh, hey, you trifler! Love, I love thee not. I care not for thee, Kate. This is no world to play with maggots and tilt with lips. We must have bloody noses and cracked crowns and pass them cards too. God's me, my horse! What sayest thou, Kate? What wouldst thou have with me?
Do you not love me? Do you not indeed? Nay, tell me if thou speakst in jest or no.
Come, wilt thou see me ride? And when I am a horseback, I will swear I love thee infinitely. But hark ye, Kate, I must not have you henceforth question me. I know you wise, and your secrecy no lady closer. For I will believe thou wilt not utter what thou dost not know, and so far I trust thee, gentle Kate.
How so far?
Not an inch further. But hark you, Kate, whither I go, thither shall you go too. Today will I set forth, tomorrow you. Will this content you, Kate?
It must, of course.
And
proud Jack of Falstaff, but a lad of metal. And when I am king of England, I shall command all the good lads in Eastcheap. To conclude, I am so good a proficient I can drink with any tinker in his language during my life.
My lord, old Sir John with half a dozen more are at the door. Shall I let them in?
Shall we be merry?
As merry as crickets, my lord.
All in ribs, all in tallow.
Welcome, Jack. Where hast thou been?
Afraid of all cowards, I say, and of vengeance too. Marry and amen. Give me a cup of sack. A plague of all cowards. Give me a cup of sack, you rogue. Is there no virtue extant?
Oh, didst thou ever see a pitiful-hearted Titan? Behold that compound.
Ah, you rogue, here's water in this sack too. There is nothing but the roguery to be found in villainous man. But a coward is worse than a cup of sack with water. The villainous coward. Oh, go thy ways, old Jack. Oh, die when thou wilt. Oh, if manhood, good manhood, be not forgot upon the face of the earth, then am I a shot in herring. There is not 3 good men left unhanged in England, and one of them is fat. And grows old. God help the while. The bad world, I say, a plague of all cowards, I say still.
How now, Woolsack, what mutter you?
A king's son. If I do not beat thee out of thy kingdom with a dagger of lead, and drive all thy subjects afore thee like a flock of wild geese, I'll never wear hair on my face more. You, Prince of Wales,
You whoresome round man, what's the matter?
are you not a coward? Answer me to that, and points there.
Ye fat paunch and ye call me coward? I'll stab thee.
Oh, I call thee coward? I'll see thee dead. There, I call thee coward. I would give £1,000 I could run as fast as thou canst. Oh, you are straight enough at the shoulders. You cannot who sees your back. Call you that backing of your friends? The plague upon such backing. Give me them that will face me. Give me a cup of sack. I am a rogue if I drunk today.
Oh, villain, thy lips are scarce white since thou drunkst last.
All's one for that. You plague of all cowards, still say I.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? Here be 4 of us have ta'en £1,000 this morning.
Where is it, Jack? Where is it?
Where is it? Taken from us 100 upon poor 4 of us.
What, 100 men?
I am a rogue if I were not a half sword with a dozen of them 2 hours together. I have escaped by miracle. I am 8 times thrust through the doublet, 4 through the hose, my buckler cut through and through, my sword hacked like a handsaw. Ecce signum! Ho, 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 ho. I never dealt better since I was a man. A plague of all cowards. And let them speak. If they speak more or less than truth, they are villains and the sons of darkness.
Speak, sirs. How was it?
We 4 set upon some dozen, 16 at least, my lord.
And found them. No, they were not found.
Yes, they were bound, you rogue, every man of them.
As we were sharing, some fresh men set upon us.
And unbound the rest, and then come in the other.
What? Fought ye with them all?
All, I know not what you call all, but if I fought not with 50 of them, I am a bunch of radish. If it were not 2 or 3 and 50 upon poor old Jack, then am I no 2-legged creature.
Pray heaven, you have not murdered some of them.
Nay, that's past praying for. I have peppered 2 of them, 2. I am sure I have paid 2 rogues in buckram suits. I tell thee what, Hal, if I tell thee a lie, spit in my Thus I bore my point. 4 ropes and buckram that drive at me.
4? Thou said 2 even now.
4, Hal. I told thee 4.
Aye, he said 4.
These 4 came in all affront and made me thrust at me. Oh, I made me no more ado, but took their 7 points in my target. Thus,
7? Thou said 4 even now.
7 by these hills, or I am a villain else.
Prithee, let him alone. We shall have more anon.
Dost thou hear me, Hal?
Aye, and mark thee too, Jack.
Do so. It is worth listening to. These 9 in buckram that I told thee of
So 2 more already.
began to give me ground, but I followed me close, came in foot and hand, and with a thought, 7 of the 11 I came.
Oh, monstrous! 11 buckram men thrown out of 2.
But, as the devil would have it, 3 misbegotten knaves in candle green came at my back and drive me, oh, for it was so dark, Hal, that thou couldst not see thy hand.
Oh, these lies! Oh, look at follow that begets them. Gross as a mountain, open, palpable, why thou clay-brained guts. Thou naughty painted fool. Thou whoresome, obscene, greasy tallow.
Art thou mad? Is not the truth?
Why, how couldst thou see these men in Kendall Green when it was so dark thou couldst not see thy hand? Come, tell us your reason. What sayest thou to this?
Come, your reason, Jack. Your reason.
What? Upon compulsion? Zounds, and I were the Strapano or all the racks in the world, I would not tell you on compulsion. Why, give you a reason on compulsion? Why, if reasons were as plentiful as blackberries, I would give no man a reason on compulsion.
I'll no longer be guilty of this sin, this sanguine coward, this bed presser, horseback breaker, this human killer.
That's not you, sir! You elves! You dry meat tongue! You bulls! Pigs! Oh, for breath to utter what is like me! You tailors! You bobcats, you vile standing cow!
Well, breathe, and then swing again. And when thou hast tired thyself in base comparisons, hear me speak but this.
Mark, Jack.
We 2 saw you 4 set on 3, and were masters of their wealth. Mark now how a plain tale shall set you down. Then we 2 set on you 4, and with a word outfaced you from your prize, and have it yea, and can show it you here in the house. And Falstaff, you carried your guts away as nimbly, with as quick dexterity, and still ran and roared for mercy as ever I heard bull calf. What a slave art thou, to have thy sword as thou hast done, and say it was in fight. What trick, what device, what starting hold canst thou now find to hide thee from this open and apparent shame?
Come, let's hear, Jack. What trick hast thou now?
By the Lord, I knew ye. I hear you, my master. But was it for me to kill the heir apparent? Should I turn upon the true prince? Why thou knowest I am as valiant as Hercules. But beware, instinct. The lion will not touch the true prince. No. Instinct is a great matter. I was a coward on instinct. I shall think the better of myself and thee during my life. I for a valiant lion, and thou for a
bear too. So did you, Peto. So did you, Bardolph. You are lions too. You ran away upon instinct. You will not touch the true prince. No fire. Faith, I ran when I saw others run. Tell me now, in earnest, how came Falstaff's sword so hacked?
Why, he hacked it with his dagger, as any would swear truth out of England, but he would make you believe it was done in fight, and persuaded us to do the like.
Yea, and tickle our noses with spear cracks to make them bleed, and beslubber our garments with it, and swear it was the blood of true men. I blush to hear of his monstrous device.
Ah, here comes Dean Jack. Here comes Barebone. How now, my sweet creature of bombast? Tell me, Jack, how long is to go since thou sawest thine own need?
My own need? Why, when I was about thy years out, oh, I was no eagle's talon in the waist. I could have crept into any alderman's thundering. A plague of sighing and grief, oh, it blows a man up like a bladder. There's a villainous news abroad. Here was the message from your father. You must go to court in the morning. That same mad fellow of the north, Percy, and he of Wales, that swore the devil is true liegeman. What a plague you call him?
Oh, Blacktower!
Owen the same, and his son-in-law Mortimer, and old Northumberland, and the sprightly Scots Douglas that runs a horseback up a hill perpendicular. Well, he is there too. Worcester is stolen away by night. My father's ever heard the light of the news. But how? Tell me, art not thou horrible of fears? Thou being heir apparent, could the world pick thee out 3 such enemies again as that spirit Douglas, that fiend Percy, and that devil Glendower? Art not thou horrible afraid?
Not a whit. I lack some of thy instinct. I fear me not that spirit Percy, that gallant Hotspur of the north, though he does kill me some 6 or 7 dozen Scots before breakfast.
Well, thou wilt be horrible chid tomorrow when thou comest to thy father. If thou do love me, practice an answer.
Do thou stand for my father and examine me upon the particulars of my life?
Shall I content? Oh, this chair shall be my state, this dagger my scepter, and this cushion my crown. Give me a cup of sack that I may make my eyes look red, so that it may be thought I have wept, for I must speak in passion, and I will do it in King Cambyses' vein.
Well, here is my letter.
And here is my speech. Stand aside, nobility.
This is excellent, Lord Gay!
Oh, weep not, sweet queen, for trickling tears are they.
Oh, the father, how he holds his countenance!
Oh, for God's sake, lords, convey my trustful queen, for tears will stop the floodgates of her eyes.
Oh, rare, he doth it as I would have been armory players as
Peace, good pint pot, peace, good tickle brain. Harry, I do not only marvel at where thou spendest thy time, but how thou art accompanied. Thou art my son. I have partly thy mother's word, partly my opinion, but chiefly a villainous trick of thine eye and a foolish hanging of thy nigger lip that doth warrant me. If then, being son to me, here lieth the point. Why, being son to me, art thou so pointed at? Shall the son of England prove a thief and take purses? A question to be asked. There is a thing, Harry, which thou hast often heard of, which is known to many in our land by the name of pitch. This pitch, as ancient writers do report, doth defile. So doth the company thou keepest. Yet there is a noble man whom I have often noted in thy company, yet I know not his name.
What manner of man, and it like your majesty?
Why, a goodly, portly manatee, a cheerful look, and a most noble carriage, and I think his age some 50.
approved by the Trine, peremptorily I speak it. There is virtue in that Falstaff, him keep with. The rest, banish. And tell me now, thou naughty varlet, tell me, where hast thou been this month? Do thou speak like a king? Stand for me, I'll break my father.
Oh, depose me? If thou dost it half so gravely, so majestically, both in word and manner, hang me up by the heels for a rabbit sucker.
Well, here I am set.
And here I stand, judge my masters.
Harry, whence come you?
My noble lord, from each cheek.
The complaints I hear of thee are grievous.
Faith, my lord, they are false.
Swearest thou, ungracious boy, henceforth ne'er look on me. Thou art violent and carried away from grace. There's a devil haunts thee, in the likeness of a fat old man. Why dost thou converse with that huge cloak bag of guts, with pudding in his belly? That reverend vice, that great iniquity, that foul ruffian, wherein is he good but to taste sack and drink it? Wherein neat and cleanly but to carve a cape on it? Wherein cunning but in craft? Wherein crafty but in villainy? Wherein villainous but in all things? Wherein worthy but in nothing?
I would your grace would take me with you. Whom means your grace?
That abominable misleader of youth, Falstaff!
My lord, the man I know.
I know thou dost.
But you say I know more harm in him than in myself. Or to say more than I know, that he is old, the more the pity his wife's hairs do witness it. If sack and sugar be a fault, heaven help the wicked. if to be old and merry be a sin, then many an old host I know is damned. If to be fat to be hated, then Pharaoh's lean kin are to be loved. No, my lord. Oh, banish Peto. Banish Flannel. Banish Coin. But for sweet Jack Falstaff, kind Jack Falstaff, true Jack Falstaff, valiant Jack Falstaff, and therefore more valiant being as he is old, Jack Falstaff. Banish him not thy Harry's company. Banish him not thy Harry's company. Banish Pump Jack, and banish all the world.
I do. I will. Open up, I open the Lord Chief Justice.
My lord, the Lord Chief Justice with the most monstrous soldiers is at the door!
Out you go, get play, out the play. I am much you say in behalf of that Falstaff.
They are come to search the house!
Go ahead, ye all. I must turn justice right. Go pick ye Falstaff's pockets, any guilty papers or coins I shut in there. Good night, good lord.
My dear and lovely lady wife, thy tongue makes Welsh as sweet as Ditty's Highland pen, sung by a fair queen in summer's bower.
Come, Kate, I'll have your song too.
Not mine in good sooth.
Not yours in good sooth. You swear like a comfort maker's wife.
I will not sing. No, you giddy goose!
There will be a world of watershed on the margin of their wives and you.
With all my heart I'd sit and hear her sing.
But this time must our plans on faith be drawn. These promises are fair, the part is sure, and our induction full of prosperous hope.
Lord Mortimer and Cousin Glendower, will you sit down? Uncle Worcester playing upon us. I forgot the map.
No, here it is. Say it, Cousin Percy, say it, good, Cousin Hotspur. Ooh, for by that name as oft as your monarch does speak of you. His cheeks look pale, and with a rising sight, he wished you in heaven.
And you in hell, as oft as he hears Owen Glendower spoke of.
I cannot blame him. At my nativity, the front of heaven was full of fiery ships, of burning cressets. And at my birth, the frame and foundation of the earth shook like a cow.
Why, so it would have done at the same season if your mother's cat had but kittens, though yourself had never been born.
I say the earth did shake when I was born.
And I say the earth was not in my mind. If you suppose it's fearing you, it shook.
The heavens were all on fire. The earth did tremble.
Oh, then the earth shook to see the heavens on fire and not in fear of your nativity.
Cousin, of many men I do not bear these crosses. Give me leave to tell you once again that at my birth, the front of heaven was full of fiery ships. The goats ran from the mountains. The herds were strangely clamorous to the frighted fields. These signs have marked me as extraordinary. And all the courses of my life do show I am not in the role of common men.
I think there's no man speaks better Welsh all to dinner.
Peace, Cousin Percy will make him mad.
I can call spirits from the vested deep.
Why, so can I, or so can any man. But will they come when you do call for them?
Why, I can teach thee, cousin, to command the devil.
And I can teach thee, cousin, to shame the devil. I tell the truth, and shame the devil.
Come, no more of this unprofitable chat.
Come, here is the map. Shall we divide our right according to threefold order here?
The Archdeacon has divided it into 3 limits, very equally. Tomorrow, Cousin Percy, you, and I, my good Lord of Worcester, set forth to meet your father and his Scottish powers as has appointed us in Shrewsbury. My father Glendower is not ready yet, nor shall he need his help these 14 days. Within that space we have drawn together your tenants, friends, and neighboring gentlemen.
The moon shines red, you may away by night. Pray with your wives in your departure hence. I am afraid my daughter will run mad so much she doted upon her Mortimer.
Aye, Cousin Percy, how you cross my father?
I cannot choose. Sometimes he angers me with telling me of Merlin and his prophecies and other
Shall I
dragons.
tell you? He holds your temper in a high respect, and curbs himself even of his natural scope when you do cross him. Faith, he does.
In faith, my lord, you are too willful blame, and since coming hither, have done enough to put him quite beside his patience. You must needs learn, lord, to amend this fault.
Well, I am schooled. Good manners be your speed. Here be our wives, and let us take our leave.
This is the deadly spite that angers me. My wife can speak no English. I know Welsh.
My liege.
Thank you, my lord. Happy am I that hath a man so bold that dares do justice on my proper son. Oh. I know not whether heaven will have it so for some displeasing service I have done, that in his secret doom out of my blood he'll breed revengement and a scourge for me to punish my mistreatings. Tell me else, could such barren pleasure and rude society, as thou art matched withal, and grafted too, so hold their level with thy princely heart.
Your Majesty, I could quit all offenses with as clear excuse, as well as I'm doubtless I can purge many I am charged with all. Yet such extenuation, let me
Heaven pardon thee. Yet let me wonder, Harry, at thy appetites, which do hold a wing quite from the flat of all thy ancestors. Thy place in council thou hast rudely lost, which by thy younger brother is supplied. And art almost an alien to the hearts of all the court and princes of my blood. The hope and expectation of thy time is ruined, and the soul of every man prophetically do forethink thy fall. Had I so lavish of my presence been, so stale and cheap to vulgar company, opinion that did help me to the crown would have left me in reputeless banishment. The skipping king, he, and up and down, mingled his royalty with carping fools, and in that very line, Harry, standest thou. Thou hast lost thy princely privilege with vital participation. Not an eye but is aweary of thy common sight. Save mine, which hath desired to see thee more.
I shall hereafter, my thrice gracious lord, be more myself.
For all the world, as thou art to this hour, was Richard then, and even as I was then, is Percy now. Now by my scepter and my soul to boot, he hath more worthy interest in estate than thou. For being no more in debt to years than thou, he leads ancient lords and reverend bishops to bloody battle and bruising arms. And what say you this? Percy, Northumberland, the Archbishop, Douglas the Scot, Mortimer, capitulate against us and our abbot. But wherefore do I tell these news to thee? Why, Harry, do I tell thee of my foes, that are thy nearest and dearest enemy? Thou, that art like enough through vassal fear to fight against me under Percy's pay. To dog at his heels and curtsy at his frowns, to show how much thou art degenerate.
Do not think so. You shall not find it so. And heaven forgive them that so much hath swayed your majesty's good thoughts away from you. I will redeem this on Percy's head, and in the closing of some glorious day, be bold and tell you, I am your son, and that shall be the day when Eric lights this gallant Hotspur, this all-praised knight, and your unthought of Harry chance to meet, then I shall make this northern youth exchange his glorious deeds for my indignities. This, by the name of heaven, I promise here, the which, if I perform and do survive, I do beseech your majesty may salve the long-grown wounds of my intemperature. If not, the end of life cancels all bands, and I will die 100,000 deaths ere break the smallest parcel of this vow.
100,000 rebels die in this. Thou shalt have sovereign trust and charge herein. How now, good blood, thy lips are full of speed.
So hath the business that I come to speak of. Our friendly spies in Scotland have sent word that Douglas and the English rebels met the 11th of this month at Shrewsbury. A mighty and fearful hat they are, if promises be kept on every hand, as ever offered foul play in the state.
Our hands are full of business. That's a word.
Oh no, am I not
Fallen away vilely? Do I not dwindle? Do I not fade? Oh, my skin hangs about me like an old lady's loose gown. I am withered like an old apple john. Well, I'll repent, and that suddenly while I am in some liking, for I shall soon be out of heart and will have no strength to repent. Oh, company! Villainous company hath been the spoil of me!
Why, you are so fretful, Sir John. You cannot live long.
Why, there is it. I was virtuously given as a gentleman need to be, virtuous enough, swore little dice, not above 7 times
A week.
went to a bawdy house, not above once in a quarter
Of an hour.
paid money that I borrowed,
3 or 4 times.
lived well and in good compass, and now I live out of all order, out of all compass. Why, you are so fat, Sir John, that you must eat me out of all compass, Sir John. Do thou amend thy face, and I'll amend my life. How now, Dame Partlet the hen? Have you inquired yet who picked my pocket?
Why, Sir John, what do you think, Sir John? Do you think I keep thieves in my house? I have searched. I have inquired, man by man, servant by servant. The tide of a hair was never lost in my house before.
You lie, hostess. Bardolph was shaved and lost many a hair. And I'll be sworn my pocket was picked. Oh, go to. You are a woman. Go.
Who, me? No, I defy thee. God, liar, was never called such in mine own house before.
Go to. I know you well enough.
No, Sir John, you do not know me, Sir John. I know you, Sir John. You owe me money, Sir John. With money lent you and your diet and your drinkings, 4 and 20 pounds. And now you make a quarrel to beguile me of it.
He had his part of it. Let him pay.
He, the last he is poor. He has nothing.
I will not pay a penny. Shall I not take mine ease in mine inn? But I shall have my pocket picked. I have lost a seal ring of my grandfather's, worth 40 marks.
I have heard the prince tell him, I know not how oft, that ring was copper.
How? The prince is a jack, a sneak cub, and if he were here, I would cuddle him like a dog if he should say so. How now, lad? Oh, is the wind in that door? Must we all march?
My lord, I pray you hear me.
What sayest thou to me, mistress?
Prithee, let her alone and list to me.
What sayest thou to me, Jack?
The other night, I fell asleep here behind the arras and had my pocket picked. This house is Kirkbally House! They pickpockets!
What didst thou lose, Jack?
Wilt thou believe me, Hal? 3 or 4 bonds of 40 pound apiece and a seal ring of my grandfather's.
A trifle, a mere 8 penny matter.
So I told him, my lord, and I said, I heard your grace say so. And, my lord, he speaks most vilely of you like a foul-mouthed man that he is, and he said he would cuddle you.
What? He did not.
Truth nor womanhood in the else.
There's no more faith in thee than a stewed prude.
Thou art an unjust man for saying so.
Thou sayest well, hostess, and he slanders thee most grossly.
And so he done you, my lord, and he said this other day, you owed him 1,000 pounds.
Sirrah! Do I owe you 1,000 pounds?
1,000 pounds. 1,000,000. Thou owest me thy love. Thy love is worth 1,000,000.
Nay, my lord, he called you Jack and said he would cuddle you.
Did I, Bardolph?
Indeed, Sir John, you said so.
Yea, if he said my ring were copper.
I say 'tis copper. Darest thou stand to thy word now?
How, as thou art but a man, thou know'st I dare. But as thou art the prince, I fear thee, as I feared the roaring of the lion's whelp.
Why not as the lion?
The king himself is to be feared as the lion. Dost thou think I'll fear thee as I fear thy father?
Oh, sirrah, there is no room for faith, truth, nor honesty in this bosom of thine. It is all filled with guts and midriff. Charge an honest woman with picking thy pockets? Why, thou whore son, impudent, embossed rascal, if there were anything in thy pockets but tavern reckonings, memorandums of bawdy houses, and 1 poor penny's worth
with sugar candy to make me long-winded, I am a villain. But you will stand to it. You will not pocket up wrong. Art and not ashamed.
Dost thou hear, Hal? Thou knowest, in the state of innocency, Adam fell. And what is poor Jack Falstaff to do in the days of villainy? What, thou seest I have more flesh than another man, and therefore more frailty? You confess then you picked my pockets.
It appears so by the story.
Hostess, I forgive thee. Go, look to thy servants, cherish thy gift, make ready breakfast. Thou seest I to pacify yourself. Nay, I prithee, be gone. Now, Hal, to the news at court of the robbery lad, how is that answered?
Oh, my sweet beef, I must still be good angel to thee. The money is paid back again.
Oh, I do not like that paying back. 'Tis a double labor.
Well, I am good friends with my father and may do anything.
Rob me the exchequer, the first thing thou dost.
Yeah, do it! I have procured thee, Jack, a charge of foot. We must to the wars.
I would it had been a horse. Oh, for a fine thief of 2 or 20 or thereabouts, I am heinously unprovided!
Meet me at the Temple Hall tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There thou shalt receive thy charge, and their order and money for their furnishing. The land is burning. Percy stands on high, and either they or we must lower the line.
Rare words, brave world! Hostess, my breakfast, come! Oh, I could wish this tavern were my drum.
Well said, Lord Douglas, my noble Scot. By heaven, I cannot flatter. I defy the tongues of soothers. But a braver place in my heart's love hath no man than yourself.
Not the king of honor, no man so potent grease upon the ground.
What letters hast there?
These letters come from your father.
Letters from him? Why comes he not himself?
He cannot come, my lord. He is grievous sick.
How is he leisure to be sick now in such a justling time? Who leads his power?
I prithee thee tell me, doth he keep his bed?
He did, my lord. 4 days ere I set forth.
Sick now? Droop now? This sickness doth infect the very lifeblood of our enterprise. 'Tis catching hither even to our camp. He writes that his friends by deputation cannot so soon be drawn, nor did he think it meet to lay so dangerous and dear a trust on any soul removed but on his own. Yet doth he give us bold advertisement that with our small conjunction we should on. For as he writes, there is no quailing now, because the king is certainly possessed of all our purposes. What say you to it?
Your father's sickness is a maim to us.
A perilous gash, a very limb lopped off. And yet in faith, it is not. His present want seems more than we shall find.
We may boldly spend upon hope of what is to come in.
But yet I would your father had been here. The quality and nature of our attempt brooks no division. It will be thought by some that know not why he is away, that wisdom, loyalty, and mere dislike of our proceedings kept the Earl from hence. And think how such an apprehension may breed a kind of question, our cause before not dreamt of.
You strain too far. I rather of his absence make this use. It lends a luster, more great opinion, a larger dare to our great enterprise than if the Earl were here. For men must think, if we, without his help, can make a head to push against the kingdom, with his help, we shall overturn it topsy-turvy down. My cousin Vernon, welcome by my soul.
Pray God my news be worth a welcome, Lord. The king himself, in person, hath set forth, with strong and mighty preparation.
Where is his son, the nimble-footed madcap, Prince of Wales?
All furnished, all in arms.
They come like sacrifices in their trim. and to the fire aid made of smoky wood, all hot and bleeding when we offered them. Oh, the Glendower were coming.
There is more news. I learned in Worcester as I rode along, he cannot draw his power this 14 days.
That's the worst tidings I hear of yet.
Aye, by my faith that bear a frosty sound.
Well, may the king's whole army reach us.
To 30,000.
40 let it be. My father and Glendower being both away, the powers of us may serve so great today. Come, let us take the muster speedily. Doomsday is near. Die all, die merrily.
If I be not ashamed of my soldiers, I am a soused gurnet. I have misused the king's press damnably. I have got, in exchange of 150 soldiers, 300 and odd pounds. I pressed me none but good householders, yeomen's sons, inquire me out, contracted bachelors, such a commodity of warm slaves as had as lief hear the devil as a drum. I pressed me none but such toasts and butter, and they have bought out their services. Now, my charge consists of slaves as ragged as Lazarus in the painted cloth, and such as indeed were never soldiers. Indeed, I had the most of them out of prison.
How now, Lone Jack?
How now, Quilt? How now, Mad Wag? What a devil dost thou in Warwickshire? Oh, my good Lord of Westmoreland, I cry you mercy. I thought your honor had already been at Shrewsbury.
Sir John, the king, I can tell you, looks for us all. We must call away tonight.
Tut, never fear me, I am as vigilant as a cat to steal a cream.
I think to steal cream indeed, for that death has already made you butter. But tell me, Jack, whose fellows are these that come after?
Mine, Hal, mine.
Why, I never saw such pitiful rascals.
It's good enough to toss. Food for powder, food for powder. They'll fill the pit as well as better. Touch man, mortal men, mortal men.
Well, sirrah, make haste. Percy is already in the field.
What? Is the king encamped? Well, to the latter end of a fray, and the beginning of a feast, fits a dull fighter and a keen guest.
We'll fight with him tonight.
It may not be.
You give him an advantage, not a wit.
Why say you so? Was he not for supply?
So do we.
His is certain. Ours is doubtful.
Good cousin, be advised. Stir not tonight.
Do not, my lord. You do not counsel well. You speak into the field and call time. Do me no slander, Douglas. By my life, let it be seen tomorrow in the battle. Which of us fears? Yeah, or tonight. Content.
Tonight, say I.
Come. It may not be. I wonder much, being men of such great leading as you are, that you foresee not what impediments drag back our expedition. Certain horse of my cousin Vernon's are not yet come up. Your uncle Worcester's horse came but today, and now their pride and mettle is asleep, that not a horse is half the half of himself. And the horse of the king's exceedeth ours. For God's sake, cousin, stay till all come in.
I come with gracious offers from the king, if you vouchsafe me hearing and respect.
Welcome, Sir Walter Blunt, and would to God you were of our determination. Some of us love you well, and even though some envy your great deservings and good name.
And heaven defend, but still I should stand so long as out of limit and true rule you stand against anointed majesty, the two in charge. The king hath sent to know the nature of your griefs. If then the king have any way your good deserts forgot, he bids you name your griefs, and with all speed you shall have your desires with interest, and pardon asking you for yourself, and these herein misled by your suggestion.
The king is kind, and while we know the king knows at what time to promise, when to pay. My father, my uncle, and myself did give him that same loyalty he would.
I cannot hear this.
Then to the point! To make all worse, he suffered his kinsman Mortimer, who is, if every honor were placed, indeed his king, to be engaged in Wales. There, without ransom's life forfeited, disgraced me in my happy victories, raided my uncle from the council board, enraged, dismissed my father from the court, broke oath on oath, committed wrong on wrong, and in conclusion drove us to seek out find too indirect for long its continuance.
Shall I return this answer to the king?
Not so, Sir Walter. We'll withdraw a while. Go to the king, and let there be upon some surety for a safe return again. And in the morning early shall my uncle bring him our purpose. And so farewell.
And would you accept of grace and love?
As may be, so we shall.
Pray heaven you do.
Oh, bloody, the sun begins to peer above yon dusky pit. The day was pale as this temperature.
The southern wind foretells a tempest and blustering day.
And with the losers let it sympathize, for nothing can seem foul to those that win. Oh, how now, my lord of Worcester! 'Tis not well that you and I should meet upon such terms as we now meet. You have deceived our trust. This is not well, my lord, this is not well.
Hear me, my liege, for I do protest. I've not sought the day of this dislike.
You have not sought it. How comes it then?
Million lay in his way. He found it. Peace, peace.
It please your majesty to turn your looks of favor from myself and all our house, and yet I must remember you, my lord. We were the first and dearest of your friends. It was myself, my brother, and his son that brought you home and boldly did out there the danger of the time. You swore to us that you had no purpose against the
These
state.
things you have articulated, proclaimed at market crosses, read in churches to face the garment of rebellion with some fine color that may please the eye of fickle changelings and poor discontents. And never yet did insurrection want such watercolors to paint his cause, nor moody beggars starving for a time of pell-mell havoc and confusion.
In both our armies, there's many a soul shall pay full dearly for this encounter, if once they join in trial. Tell your nephew, the Prince of Wales doth join with all the world in praise of Henry Percy. I do not think a greater gentleman, more daring or more bold, is now alive. For my part, I speak it to my shame. I have a truant bent to chivalry, so I hear he doth count me too, that this, before my father's majesty, I am content. He will stake his great name and estimation, and to save lives on either side, try with me in a single fight.
And Prince of Wales, so dare we venture thee. Albeit considerations infinite to make against it. No, good Worcester, no. We love our people well, even those we love that are misled upon your cousin's part. And will they accept the offer of our grace, both he and they and you, yea, every man shall be my friend again, and I'll be his. So tell your cousin, and bring word what he will do. So be gone. We will not now be troubled with reply. We offer fair, take it advisedly.
It will not be accepted, on my life.
Hence. Therefore, let every leader to his charge. On their answer will stand upon them. God befriend us as our cause is just.
Hal, if thou see me down in battle and bestride me so, 'tis a point of friendship.
Nothing but a colossus can do thee that friendship. Say thy prayers and farewell.
I would it were bedtime, Hal, and all well.
Why? Thou owest heaven a debt.
'Tis not due yet. Oh, I would be loath to pay him before his day. What need I be so forward with him that calls not on me? Well, 'tis no matter. Honor pricks me on. But how if honor should prick me off when I come on? How then? An honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Or take away the grief of a wound? No. Honor hath no skill in surgery then? No. What is honor? A word. What is that word? Honor. Air, a trim reckoning. Who hath it? He that died a Wednesday, doth he feel it? No. Doth he hear it? No. Is it insensible then? Yea, to the dead. But will it not live with the living? No. Why? Detraction will not suffer it. Therefore, I'll none of it. Honor is a mere scutcheon. And so ends my catechism.
Oh, no, my nephew must not know. Sir Richard, the liberal kind offer of the king.
Twere best he did.
Then we are all undone. It is not possible, it cannot be. The king would keep his word in loving us. He will suspect us still and find a time to punish this offense in other forms. My nephew's trespass may well be forgot. It hath the excuse of youth, the heat of blood, the hair-brained hotspur, governed by a spleen. All his offenses live upon my head. His fathers, we did train him on. We, the spring of all, shall pay for all. Therefore, good cousin, let not Hotspur know. In any case, the offer of the king.
Deliver what you will. I'll say 'tis so. Here comes your cousin.
Uncle, what news?
There is no seeming mercy in the king.
Did you beg any? God forbid.
I told him gently of our grievances, of his oath-breaking, which he mended thus by now for swearing that he is forsworn. He calls us rebels, traitors, and will scourge with haughty arms this hateful nations.
Arms, gentlemen, to arms! For I have thrown a praise the mighty kingdoms, which cannot choose but bring quickly on.
The Prince of Wales did step forth before the king and nephew, challenged you to single fight.
Oh, will the quarrel lay upon our heads, and that no man might draw short breath today, but I am Harry Monmouth. Tell me, how should his talk? He seemed to be content.
No, by my soul, I never in my life did hear a challenge urged more modestly.
Cousin, I think thou art enamored of his follies. Never did I hear of any prince so wild at liberty. Arm! Arm with speed!
Ah, thy crest tells me that thou art king.
It tells me true!
All's done, all's won. Here, breathless, lies the king.
Where?
Here.
This does no. I know his face full well. A gallant knight this was. His name was Blunt. Assembly furnished like a king himself.
Ah, fool! A borrowed title has brought thou too dear. Why didst thou tell me that thou wert a king?
The king hath many marching in his coats.
Then by my sword I will murder all his coats. I'll kill his wardrobe piece by piece until I meet the king.
Though I could escape shot free in London, I fear the shot here. Oh, here's no scoring but upon the pate. Oh, dead and more dead, tripping up my poor feet. Oh, soft. Who are you? Soft, Sir Walter Blunt. There's honor for you. Here's my magazine. Oh, I am as hot as molten lead, and as heavy too. Heaven, keep lead out of me. I need no more weight than mine own bowels. I have led my ragamuffins where they are. Heaven, there's not 3 of my 150 left alive, and they for Townsend to beg during life.
Another king. They grow like hyenas' heads. I am the Douglas, fatal to all those that bear this corner. What art thou, that counterfeits the person of king?
The king himself!
I fear thou art another counterfeit, and yet in faith thou bearest the other
Oh, hold up thy head, vile Scot! And I'd like never to hold it up again, Harry. I prithee withdraw thyself, thou bleedest too much. John of Lancaster, go you with him,
Not I, my lord, unless I did bleed too.
By heaven, John, thou hast deceived me. I did not think thee lord of such a spirit. Before I did love thee as a brother, John. But now, I give respect thee as my soul.
I saw him hold Lord Vernon at the point with lustier maintenance than I did look for of such an ungrown warrior.
Oh, this boy that's metal to us all.
Thank you. Stay! And Rigor.
Who?
Thou hast redeemed thy lost opinion. So thou make so tender of my life in this fair rescue thou hast brought to me.
Oh, they did me too much injury. They ever said wrong to your death.
Surely, my lord, how fair is your grace?
My lord of Washington, Venus was tempting.
If I mistake not, thou art Harry Bonny.
Thou speakst as if I would deny my name.
My name is Harry Percy.
Why then, I see a very valiant rebel of that name. I am the Prince of Wales, and think not, Percy, to share with me in glory anymore. 2 stars share not their motion in one sphere, nor can one England brook a double reign of Harry Percy and the Prince of Wales.
Nor shall it, Harry, for the time has come to end the one of us, and would to heaven thy name and arms were now as great as mine.
I'll make it greater ere I part from you, and all the budding honors on thy crest, I'll crop to make a garland for my head.
I can no longer brook thy vanities.
Well said, Hal! To it, Hal! You will find boys play here, I can tell you.
Harry, thou hast robbed me of my youth. I better brook the loss of bitter life than those proud titles thou hast won of me. They wound my thoughts worse than the sword in my flesh. The thoughts, the slave of life, and life, time's fool, and time, that takes survey of all the world, must have a stop. Oh, I could promise not. But then the earth and the cold hand of death lies on my tongue. No, Percy, thou art dust and food
For worms, brave Percy. Farewell, great heart. Ill-weaved ambition, how much art thou shrunk, when that this body did contain a spirit, a kingdom for it, was too small a bound, and now 2 paces of the vilest earth is room enough? Adieu, and take thy praises with thee to heaven. Thy ignominies lie with thee in the grave, but are not remembered in thy epitaph. What? Old acquaintance? Could not all this flesh keep in a little life? Jack, farewell. I could have better spared a better man. And bowed will I see thee by and by. Till then, in blood, where noble Percy lie.
Emboweled? discretion, in the which better part I have saved my life. I fear this gunpowder Percy, though he be dead. How if he should counterfeit too and rise? I'm afraid he would prove the better counterfeit. Therefore, I'll make him sure. Yea, and I'll swear I killed him. Why should he not rise as well as I? Nothing confutes me but eyes, and nobody sees me. Therefore, sirrah, with a new wound in your thigh, come you along with me. make a pride to gird me. I am not only witty in myself, but the cause that wit is in other men. If the prince put thee into my service for any other reason than to set me off, then I have no judgment. Thou, whoreson mandrake, thou art fitter to be born in my cap than thou art to wait at my heels. I was never manned with an agate till now. Oh, but I'll set thee neither in gold nor silver, but in violent apparel, and send thee back to thy master, whose chin is not yet fledged. I will sooner have a beard grow in the palm of my hand than he shall get one on his cheek. Yet he will stick to say his face is a face royal. He may keep his own grace, but he is almost out of mine, I can assure him.
Sir, here comes the nobleman that jailed the prince for striking him!
Wait close, I will not see him.
What's he that goes there?
Falstaff, and please your lordship.
Either was a question of a robbery.
Nay, he, my lord, but he hath since done good service in Shrewsbury.
Call him back again.
Sir Dan Falstaff. Oi, tell him I'm deaf.
You must speak louder! My master is dead!
I'm sure he is to the hearing of anything good. No wonder why the hell I must speak with him.
Sir Dan?
What? A young knave and beg? Is there not wars? Is there not employment?
You mistake me, sir.
Why, sir, did I call you an honest man? Ooh, I had lied in my throat if I had said so.
Pray me, give me leave, sir, to tell you that you lie in your throat. If you say I am any other than an honest man.
Hence avant!
Sir, my lord would like to speak with you.
Sir John Falstaff, a word with you.
My good lord. Oh, give your lordship good time of the day. Oh, I am glad to see your lordship abroad. I heard say your lordship was sick. I most humbly beseech your lordship to take a reverent care of your health. Oh, my good lord, what is the news of the rebellion?
My lord, Prince John leads the royal forces against Northumberland and the Archbishop, and you, Sir John, loiter here too long. But to the point, I sent for you before your expedition to Shrewsbury, for you are in question about a robbery.
If it please your lordship, I hear his majesty is returned with some discomfort from Wales.
I talk not of his majesty. You were not come when I sent for you.
And I hear, moreover, he's fallen into this same whoreson apoplexy.
Well, heaven meant him. I pray, let me speak with you.
This apoplexy is, as I take it, a kind of sleeping of the blood, a kind of lethargy, a whoreson tingling.
What? Tell you me of it, be it as it is.
It hath its original from much grief, from study and perturbation of the brain. I have read the cause of his effects in Galen. It is a kind of deafness.
I think you are fallen into the disease, for you hear not what I say to you.
Very well, my lord, very well. Rather, an't please you, 'tis the disease of not listening, the malady of not marking, that I am troubled with all.
Punish you by the heels would have been the attention of your ears, and I care not by your physician. I sent for you when there were matters against you for your life to come speak with me. The truth is, Sir John, you live in great infamy.
He that buckles him in my belt cannot live in less.
Your means is very slender, and your waist great.
Oh, I would it were otherwise, for I would my means greater, and my waist slenderer.
You have misled the youthful prince.
The young prince hath misled me.
Your day's service at Shrewsbury hath a little gilded over your night's exploit on Gad's Hill. You may thank the unquiet time for your quiet or posting that action.
My lord.
But since all is well, keep it so. Wake not a sleeping wolf.
To wake a wolf is as bad as smell a fox.
You are as a candle, the better part burnt out. You followed the young prince up and down like his evil angel. God send the prince a better companion.
God send a companion, a better prince. I cannot rid my hands of him. For the box of the ear that the prince gave you, he gave it like a rude prince, and you took it like a sensible lord. I have checked him for it, and the young lion repents, marry not in ashes and sackcloth, but in new silk and old sack.
Well, the king hath severed you and Prince Harry. I hear you are going on the action against the Archbishop and the Earl of Northumberland.
Will your lordship lend me £1,000 to furnish me forth?
Not a penny, not a penny. Very well.
Help me with a three-man beetle. A man can no more part age and covetousness than he can separate young limbs and lechery. Boy,
Sir,
what money is in my purse?
7 groats and 2 pence.
I can get no remedy against this consumption of the purse. Borrowing only lingers and lingers it out, but the disease is incurable.
Alas, good daughter, my honor is at pawn, and but my going nothing can redeem
Oh,
it.
yet, for heaven's sake, go not to these wars. The time was, father, when you broke your word, when you were more endeared to it than now, when your own Percy, when my heart dear Harry, threw many a northward look to see his father bring up his powers, but he did long in vain. Who then persuaded you to stay at home? There were 2 honors lost, yours and your son's. For yours, may heavenly glory brighten it. For his, it stuck upon him as the sun in the great vault of heaven, and by his light did all the chivalry of England move to do brave acts. He was indeed the glass wherein the noble youth did dress themselves. He was the mark and glass, copy and book that fashioned others. And him, oh wondrous him, oh miracle of men, him did you leave, second to none, unseconded by you, to look upon the hideous god of war, in disadvantage to abide a field, where nothing but the sound of Hotspur's name did seem defensible. So you left him. Never, oh never, do his ghost the wrong, to hold your honor more precise and nice with others than with him. Let them alone. The march from the Archbishop are strong. Had my sweet Harry had but half their numbers, today might I, hanging on Hotspur's neck, have talked of Prince Henry's grave.
Be sure your heart, fair daughter, you do draw my spirit from me. I must go and meet the danger there, or it will seek me in another place and find me worse provided.
Oh, fly to Scotland! If they get ground and advantage of the king, then join you with them. But for all our loves, first let them try themselves. So did your son. He was so succored, so came I, a widow.
Come, go in with me. It is with my mind as with the tides hold up unto its height, that makes it still stand running neither way. Fain would I go to meet our friends still in arms, but many thousand reasons hold me back. I will resolve for Scotland. There am I, till time and vantage crave my company.
Go, call the Earl of Westmoreland. Make good speed, eh? How many thousand of my poorest subjects are at this hour asleep? Oh, sleep. Oh, gentle sleep. Nature's soft nurse, how have I frighted thee, that thou wilt no more weigh my eyelids down and steep my senses in forgetfulness? Wilt thou, upon the high and giddy mass, seal up the shipboy's eyes, and rock his brain in cradle of rude and imperious surge, with deafening clamor in the slippery clouds? Canst thou, O partial sleep, give thy repose to that wet sea-boy in an hour so rude, and in the calmest and most stillest night? Deny it to a king. Then happy low, lie down. Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown.
Trust me, I'm exceeding weary.
Is it come to that? I thought weariness does not have attached to one of so high blood.
Many good morrows to your majesty.
Is it good morrow, my lord?
It's 1 o'clock and past.
Then good morrow to you, good company.
Doth it not show violently in me to desire small beer?
Why, a prince should not be so loosely studied as to remember so weak a composition.
Belike then,
my appetite was not princely got. But indeed, these humble considerations made me out of love of my greatness.
Do you perceive the body of our kingdom? How foul it is. What rank disease is still growing, with what danger lies near the heart.
It is but as a body, yet distempered, which to his former strength may be restored with good advice and little medicine. The prince will, in the perfectness of time, cast off his followers.
What a disgrace is it to me to remember thy name, or to know thy face tomorrow, or to take note of how many pair of silk stockings he has, visible these, and those that were thy peach-colored ones.
How ill it follows after you have labored so hard that you should talk so idly. Tell me, how many good young princes would do so, their fathers lying so sick as yours is?
Have you read over the letters that I sent you? They say the Archbishop and Northumberland are 50,000 strong.
It cannot be, my lord. Rumor doth double like the voice and echo the numbers of the feared. Upon my life, my lord, the powers that you have already sent forth shall bring this rising very easily. My lord Northumberland will soon be cool.
Oh, heaven! That one might read the book of fate and see the revolution of the times.
Shall I tell thee one thing, Point?
Yes, and let it be an excellent good thing.
How chances, mocks, and changes fill the cup of alteration with diverse liquors. Oh, if this were seen, the happiest youth, viewing his progress through, with perils past, with crosses to ensue, would shut the book and sit him down and die.
I tell thee, it is not meet I should be sad now that my father is sick. Albeit I could tell to thee, as to one for fault of a better, I call my friend. I could be sad, and sad indeed too.
Very hardly upon such a subject.
It's not 10 years gone since Richard and Northumberland, great friends, did feast together. And in 2 years afterward they had wars. It is but 8 years since. This Percy was the man nearest my soul. Yea, for my sake, even to the eyes of Richard gave him defiance.
Thou thinkst me as far in the devil's book as thou, and Falstaff.
But you yourself were by when Richard and I, brimful of tears, did speak these words, now proved a prophecy. Northumberland, thou ladder, by the which my cousin Bolingbroke ascends my throne, though then heaven knows I had no such intent. The time will come that foul sin gathering head shall break into corruption, and so went on, foretelling this same time's condition.
I tell thee, my heart bleeds inwardly that my father is so sick, and keeping such vile company as thou art, have in reason taken from me all ostentation of sorrow.
The reason?
There is a history in all men's lives, the which observed a man may prophesy with the near aim of the main chance of things.
What wouldst thou think of me, if I should weep?
I would think thee a most princely hypocrite.
It would be every man's thought. And thou art a blessed fellow to think as every man thinks.
King Richard might create a perfect guess that great Northumberland, then false to him, would of that seed grow to a greater falseness.
Every man would think me a hypocrite indeed. And what excites your most worshipful thoughts to think so?
Why, because you have been so lewd, and so much engrafted to Falstaff.
And thee.
Nay, I am well spoken of. I can hear it with mine own ears.
Please it your grace to go to bed.
Let the end try the man.
Your majesty hath been this fortnight ill, and these unseasoned hours perforce must add unto your sickness.
The worst that they can say of me is that I am a second brother, and that I am a proper fellow of my hands. And those two things I confess I cannot help.
I'll take it. Now, lords, may heaven give successful end to this debate which bleedeth at our doors. Only with one little personal strength and pause us till these rebels still afoot come underneath the yoke of the government.
Both of which we doubt not, but your majesty shall soon enjoy.
Humphrey, the son of Gloucester, where's the prince, thy brother?
I think he's gone to hunt, my lord, at Windsor.
And how accompanied?
I do not know, my lord.
Is not his brother Thomas of Clarendon?
My good lord, he is in presence here. What would my lord and father?
And nothing but well to thee, Thomas of Clarence. How chance thou art not with the prince, thy brother, or why art thou not at Windsor with him, Thomas?
He is not there today. He dines in London.
And how accompanied? Canst thou tell that?
With Poins and his other continual followers.
Most subjects is the fattest soils of weeds, and he, the noble image of my youth, is overspread with them. And for my grief stretches itself beyond the hour of death. The blood weeps from my heart when I do shape in forms imaginary the unguided days and rotten times that you shall look upon when I am sleeping with my ancestors. For when his headstrong riot hath no curb, when rage and hot blood are his counselors, oh, with what wings shall his appetite fly!
My gracious lord, you look beyond him quite. The prince but studies his companions like a strange tongue, so as to gain the language.
Who's here? Young Prince John, back so soon, what news?
Health to my sovereign lord, and new happiness. Added to that, am I now to deliver. There is not now a rebel sword unsheathed, and peace puts forth her olive everywhere. The manner how this action hath been born, I shall report at your highness's pleasure. But know for now, Percy is fled to Scotland, and his allies are dispersed or put to the sword.
Good son John, thou art the summer bird which ever in the heart of winter sings, the lifting up of dead. Wherefore should these good news make me sick? Will fortune never come with both hands full? She either gives a stomach and no food, or else a feast and takes away the stomach. I should rejoice now at this happy news, and now my sight fails and my brain is giddy.
Your Majesty.
Set from him, give him air. He'll surely be well.
No, no, he cannot long hold out.
That is much he will certain be his end.
Speak lower, princes, for the king recovers.
Let there be no noise made, my gentle friends, unless some dull and favorable hand will whisper music to my weary spirits.
Call for the music in the other room.
And send me the crown on my pillow here.
How doth the king?
Exceeding ill.
Heard you of good news yet?
Not so much noise, my lords. Sweet prince, speak low. The king, your father, is disposed to sleep.
Let us withdraw to the other room.
No. I will sit here and watch by the king. Why did the crown lie there upon his pillow, being so troublesome a bedfellow? A polished birch nation, a golden care, oh majesty! When thou dost pinch thy bearer, thou dost sit like a rich armor worn in the heat of day that stalks you in safety. My gracious liege, my father. The sleep is sound indeed. This is a sleep that from this golden riddle hath divorced so many English kings. I do for me is tears, heavy sorrows of the blood that love, nature, and filial tenderness shall, O dear father, pay thee plenteously. My due for me is this imperial crown, which doth derive itself to me. Lo, here it sits, and put the world's whole strength into one giant arm. It shall not force this lineal honor from me. This from thee will I to mine leave, as 'tis left to me.
John! and...
We left the prince, my brother here, my liege, who undertook to sit and watch by you.
Prince of Wales, where is he? Let me see him.
This door is open. He is on this way.
He came out through the chamber where we stayed.
Where is the crown? Who took it from my pillow?
When we withdrew, my liege, we left it here.
The prince hath ta'en it hence. Go seek him out. Is he so hasty that he doth suppose my sleep, my death? Find him, my good cousin. Go! Oh, where he comes. Come hither, Henry. Depart from the chamber. Leave us here alone.
I never thought to hear you speak again.
Thy wish was father, Harry, to that thought. I stay too long by thee. I weary thee. Dost thou so hunger for my empty chair that thou wouldst needs invest thee with mine honors before thy hour be ripe? Foolish youth! Thou seekst the greatness that will overwhelm thee. Thou hast stolen that which after some few hours was thine without offense. What? Canst thou not forbear me half an hour? Then get thee gone and dig my grave thyself. And bid the merry bells ring to thy ear that thou art crowned, not that I am dead. Blot down my officers, break my decrees. Now the time has come to mock at form. Henry V is crowned. Up vanity, down royal state. All you sage counselors, hence. And to the English court, assemble now from every region, apes of idleness. My poor kingdom, sick with civil blows, that when that my care could not withhold thy riot. What wilt thou do now that riot is thy care?
Pardon me, my liege. There's your crown. When I here came in and found no course of breath within your majesty, how cold it struck my heart. Coming to look at me, thinking you dead, I spake unto the crown as having sense, and thus upbraided it. The care on me depending hath fed upon the body of my father. Therefore thou best of gold art worst of gold. Accusing it, I put it on my head, to try with it as with an enemy that had before my face murdered my father. But if it did infect my blood with joy, or swell my thoughts to any strain of pride, let heaven forever keep it from my head.
Oh, my son, heaven put it in thy mind to take it hence, that thou mightst join the more thy father's love, pleading so wisely in excuse of it. Come hither, Harry, sit by my side, and here I think the very latest counsel that ever I shall breathe. Heaven knows, my son, by what bypaths and indirect crooked ways I met with this crown. And I myself know well how troublesome it sat upon my head. To thee, it shall descend with better quiet, better opinion, better confirmation. For all the soil of achievement goes with me into the earth. More would I, when my lungs are wasted so. That strength of speech has utterly denied me. How I came by the crown, O heaven, forgive. And grant it may with thee in true peace live.
My gracious liege, you won it, wore it, kept it, and gave it me so plain and right must my possession be.
That brings me happiness and peace. But health left with youthful wings full.
Now, my Lord Chief Justice, whither away?
Dr. King,
Exceeding well. His cares are now on.
I hope not dead. I
or would his majesty had sent me with him. The service that I truly did his life hath left me open to all injuries.
Indeed, for that you with justice once committed the wild and roistering prince to a prison cell, I think the new king now will love you not.
Alas, I fear we'll all be overturned.
Good morrow, Prince of Westmoreland. Good morrow. Oh, good my lord, you have lost a friend indeed. Though no man be assured what grace to find, you stand in coldest expectation. I am the sorrier, would 'twere otherwise.
Well, you must now speak, Sir John Falstaff there.
Sweet princes, what I did in honor. If troth and upright innocency fail me, I'll to the king, my master that is dead, and tell him who hath sent me after him.
Here comes the prince.
Good morrow, and heaven save your majesty.
Brothers, you mix your sadness with some fear. This is the English, not an assassin's court, and I, Harry, not some jealous tyrant. Pray entertain no more of it, brothers, but weep our father's death, and so will I.
We hope no other from your majesty.
You all look strangely on me. You are, I think, assured I love you not.
I am assured, if I be measured rightly, your majesty hath no just cause to hate me.
No. How might the prince of my great hopes forget so great indignities as you laid upon me? What? Rate, rebuke, and roughly send to prison the immediate heir of England. Was this easy? May this be washed in league and forgotten.
I then did use the person of your father. The image of his power lay then in me and in the administration of his law. Whilst I was busy for the commonwealth, your highness pleased to forget my place and struck me in my very seat of judgment, whereon, as an offender to your father, I did commit you. If the deed were ill, be you contented, wearing now the garland, to have a son set your decrees at naught, to trip the course of law and blunt the sword that guards the very peace and safety of your person? Question your royal thoughts, make the case yours, and, as you are a king, speak in your state what I have done that misbecame my place.
You're right, Justice, and you weigh this well. And I do wish your honors may increase till you do live to see a son of mine offend you and obey you as I did. So shall I live to speak my father's words. Happy am I to have a man so bold that dare do justice on my proper son. You did commit me, for which I commit into your hands the unstained office you have used to bear, with this remembrance, that you use the same, with the like bold, just, and impartial spirit as you have done against me. You shall be as a father to my youth. And princes all, believe me, I beseech you. My father has gone wild into his grave, for in his tomb lie my wild appetites, and with his spirits, sadly, I survive to mock the expectations of the world. No prince nor peer shall have just cause to say, heaven shorten Harry's happy life one day.
Stand here by me, masters, or I will make the king do you grace. I will leer at him as he comes by and do what mark the countenance that he will give me. Oh, that I had time to make new liveries, but 'tis no matter this poor show doth better, this doth infer the zeal I had to see him. It doth so. It shows my earnestness of affection. It doth so. My devotion. It doth, as it were, to ride day and night, to stand, stained with travel, sweating with desire to see him, thinking of nothing else, putting all affairs in oblivion, as if there were nothing else to be done but to see him. Save me, thy king, King Hal, my royal Hal! Let everything God keep us royal in Save me, my sweet boy!
My Lord Chief Justice, speak to that vain man.
Have you your wits? Know you what 'tis you speak?
My king, my Jove, I speak to thee, my heart.
I know you not, old man. fall to thy prayers. How ill white hairs become a fool and jester. I've long dreamed of such a kind of man, so surfeit-swelled, so old, and so profane, but being awake, I do despise my dream. Reply not to me with some fool-born jest. Presume not I am the thing I was. For heaven doth know, so shall the world perceive. I have turned away my former self. So will I those that kept me company. When thou dost hear, I am as I have been, approach me, and thou can be as thou wast, the tutor and the feeder of my brides. Till then, I banish thee, on pain of death, not to come within 10 miles of our person. For competence of life, we will allow you that lack of means can force you not to evil. And as we hear you do reform yourself, we shall, according to your strength and qualities, give you advancement. Be it your charge, my lord, to see performed the tenor of our word. Set on.
Do not you grieve at this. I will be sent for in private to him. He must seem thus to the world. Fear not your advancement. I will be the man yet that shall make you great.
I cannot well see how, unless you should give me your doublet and stuff me out with straw.
I will be as good as my word. This that you saw was but a color.
A color, I fear you'll die in, Sir John.
Fear no colors. Come with me to dinner. Come, Bardolph, come, Pito. I shall be sent for soon. At night. But we have heard the chimes at midnight, my bonny prince.